Welcome to the Atlas Cast for Building Your Business, presented by best-selling author, speaker, and sales and business growth consultant, Archer Atlas. And here's your host, Archer Atlas.
Welcome to episode 10 of the Atlas Cast for Building Your Business, hosted by me, Archer Atlas. Very quickly, if you'd like to get show notes, transcripts, and updates on when new shows are released, as well as 2 free gifts, my best-selling book, Build Your Business Without Breaking the Bank, and the audio program, Going Up, How to Generate More and Better Leads Quickly and Inexpensively. If you'd like all of that for free, simply go to www.theatlascast.com and subscribe. You'll get it all. The updates, the show notes, the transcripts, and the 2 free gifts. Building Your Business Without Breaking the Bank and Going Up, How to Generate More and Better Leads Quickly and Inexpensively. Just go to www.theatlascast.com and subscribe. One last word on subscribing. I'm going to give you one major reason why you should subscribe right now. To be honest, show-wise, anything subscribers have been given could have been gotten without subscribing. I posted transcripts and videos for these episodes right on the site. But for this episode, there's one major reason you should subscribe. And as a subscriber, you'll be getting something Atlas Cast related that's going to benefit you much more than non-subscribers. That non-subscribers won't be able to get their hands on. And it's something that literally has the ability to help you grow your business tremendously and turn a lot of no's into yeses. That's all I'll say on that, other than you're really going to want to subscribe at www.theatlascast.com. All right, this is episode 10 of the Atlas Cast. This episode is going to be short and sweet. Short and sweet, yet powerfully important. This episode is all about objections, how to handle and overcome them, and how to create objection-busting rebuttals. Plus, we'll cover a 3-step process for creating rebuttals that eliminate objections. Anyway, before we really get started talking about rebuttals and overcoming objections, I have one last quick announcement to make. I'm wrapping up the promotion on my latest video training course, Get More Customers and Clients Now. You can get it through the end of the weekend for only $7. That's $92 off the going rate, which is still a complete steal at full price. Just go to www.theatlascast.com/offer. That's theatlascast.com/OFFER. It's really a phenomenal training program that really covers the ask approach and how to generate more, new, and better qualified leads from top to bottom. I'm extremely proud of it and know that it will benefit you greatly if you apply it. Anyway, it's 93% off from now through the end of the weekend, September 14th. Get it for only $7 at theatlascast.com/offer. That's OFFER. Go get it today. You will not be let down. I guarantee that. All right. Last episode, we talked about handling phony objections and how most objections, especially the ones you get initially, are not real objections. Or really, how they aren't the real objection that's stopping the prospect or client from doing what you ask them to do. And we're going to talk about how to tell whether a prospect's objection is genuinely real or not so much. That's actually pretty easy, to be honest, most times. Okay, let's jump right in. Most times when you ask for the order or ask a prospect to do something, buy something, or set an appointment with you, the answer is going to be some variation of no. Such is life. It's just going to happen. There will always be a percentage of people that will say no to any request you make of them, regardless of whether they're a fit for what you're offering, whether it's in their best interest to say yes, and regardless of anything. We can't worry about those people, not one bit. What we can and should do is focus on converting the people who can and will say yes, even if getting that yes takes a little clarifying on your part or a little convincing. So that said, regardless of how good you, your company, or your products or services are, there are going to be people who say no to you. You just have to deal with it. You're not going to get them all. But here's how we handle objections and convert some of those no's into yeses. Let's cut to the chase. Here's the 3-step rebuttal formula. A, B, C. Agree, bullet point, close. Again, agree, bullet, close. ABC. Now you'll notice, this isn't the same ABC uttered by salespeople for decades. We're not talking about always be closing. Yes, it's a good idea to always be closing, and once it's time to ask for the order, to always be asking for the order every time you stop talking. And we'll get into that much more deeply later, because this is actually a very important concept and one that I see many people get completely wrong. No, instead of always be closing, this ABC is agree, bullet, close. All right, let's jump into an example. Let's say that you just asked for the order. Let's jump back to an example from my broker days, because with this is actually going to be something that is very easy to illustrate. Okay, so the example. Let's say we're trying to get a prospect to open a brokerage account by buying 100 shares of a stock. And let's say that this company just received a giant contract, and rumor has it, they'll be getting an even bigger one soon, and as a result, the price is set to jump. Now let me take a step back here. This is a stock example, but it really doesn't matter. This same formula can be used for anything. I've used it in many diverse businesses, and my clients have as well. You can use this in your business regardless of whatever it is you sell. I'm 100% confident in this and know this to be a fact. All right, so the prospect says not interested. We then give them a rebuttal using the ABC formula. Agree, bullet, close. I understand that. Agree. But you know what? This company is about to receive a record contract that will double revenues. That's the bullet point. There's not a doubt in my mind you should take the 100 shares. And that's the close. Agree, blurb, close. Here's another one. I can appreciate that, but you have to understand something here. This company does $12 billion a year in revenue. This contract they're getting is worth over $8 billion. That's 2/3 yearly revenue in one shot. I'm telling you, we're looking at an easy 10 points here. Listen to me on this one. Let's take the 100 shares. So that's another ABC. Agree, bullet, close. Agree, I can appreciate that. Bullet, the company does $12 billion a year, and we're looking at a 10-point increase in price. And C, take the 100 shares. Easy, right? Actually, it gets a little more complex than that. That first rebuttal, the one that talked about the company's new contract, and the fact that revenues were on pace to double, that was what we call a business bullet. The second one, while having some business aspects to it, was what we call a greed bullet. Actually, a pure greed bullet would be something like this. Can I tell you something? The stock's at $40 a share right now. There's no doubt that this is going to be a $50 stock. I'm telling you, you'll want to own at least 100 shares. So business bullets talk business and numbers. Greed bullets talk about positive results that directly affect the prospect and get their greed glands going. There's one more main type of bullet, hesitation bullets. Hesitation bullets address a prospect's hesitancy and get the prospect to toss that hesitation to the side and make a move on something that is in their best interest and will benefit them, namely doing what you want them to do. So there are three main types of bullets, or really three main types of rebuttals: business, greed, and hesitation. Now it's worth noting that different people buy in different ways and different things convince them to buy. One person might need to hear some business rebuttals to shore them up and get them to change their mind and pull the trigger. Someone else, they might be motivated by greed or gain and be convinced to buy with a greed rebuttal. Yet another person might need to have their hesitation dealt with and overcome for them to buy. And you'll never know until you ask. Okay, let me give you one quick hesitancy rebuttal. I understand that, but let me explain one thing. I understand your apprehension here and where you're coming from, but I'm not saying give me half your net worth. I'm saying open the door. Open the door on a small block of a phenomenal company that pays a dividend. How are you going to get hurt here? There's not a doubt in my mind you'll do well with 100 shares. All right, so you can easily see the ABCs there. Let me give you a quick list. Actually, just listening to this podcast or even watching the video of it isn't exactly the best media to demonstrate this. I'm going to run through it and say it anyway, but it's best for you to actually have a nice printed list in front of you to see it clearly. I'll post it on the show's site and email it to the show subscribers in the show notes. But you can see it at www.theatlascast.com/abc-list. That's ABC-list. Okay, I'll give you a list of the A's right now, and then we'll go back over them and cover one more very important concept about the A's agreements. All right, here they are. Can I tell you something? Exactly my point. Hear me out. I can appreciate that. I can respect that. I understand that. I appreciate what you're saying. I realize that. I understand where you're coming from. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you something. Let me say this. Let me tell you this. Listen for a second. You have to understand something. You know what though? You're missing a major point. You're forgetting one very important thing. Okay, so those are A agreements. Now you might have noticed, they're not all necessarily agreeing with the prospect. Can I tell you something? Let me explain something. And a few other ones aren't agreeing at all. Now these can be preceded by agreeing statements, such as I understand that, I can appreciate that, and a few other ones. And they often are. But strictly speaking, they're not agreements themselves. Instead, they are what I call control blurbs. Control blurbs are things said at the beginning or toward the beginning of a rebuttal that allows you to take back control of the conversation. After all, you lose some control once you ask for the order and get a no. So they allow you to take back control of the conversation and then transition into giving a prospect a reason why they should turn around and say yes instead of no. And knowing and having an arsenal of control blurbs at the ready is very important if you really want to get good at changing hearts and minds and getting your prospects to get out of their own way and do what's in their best interest, which is doing exactly what you're asking them to do. So you need to know these like you know the back of your hand and be able to blurt them out one after another without even thinking. And this brings us to yet another reason, perhaps the main reason, control blurbs are important. When you get to a point where you automatically can recite a control blurb in response to a prospect or client saying no, you've given yourself something extremely powerful. The ability to think better on your feet and give better bullet points and better referrals. Let me explain. Speed matters, and pauses kill. You could say the exact same thing to the exact same prospect and have very different results depending on how quickly you can bring your prospect's attention to this point by actually saying it. If a prospect says no to you, and you're able to immediately give the prospect a good reason why they should reconsider, you'd have a much better chance at actually getting them to reconsider and say yes than if you stumbled and bumbled and after a lengthy pause, or worse, a lengthy period of mumbling, in giving that point. Now, if you say no to me and I come back quickly and sharply with a good reason why you're wrong, you're going to be much more likely to turn that frown upside down and say yes to me than had I been unsharp and taken a long time to give you the reason. In fact, just being sharp and confident can be enough to get anyone to reconsider and can actually be more powerful than giving a much better reason in a slower fashion. All right, I'm sure you've got this point, but what does it have to do with control blurbs and being able to rattle them off quickly and automatically without thinking? The answer to that is everything. The fact is, if you're able to automatically, quickly, easily, sharply, and confidently respond to an objection with a control blurb, you've just bought yourself much more time to formulate a great response that can change the prospect's mind and get them from no to yes. If you tell me that you're not interested and I automatically respond, I can understand that, but you have to understand something yourself. I've just given myself all that time it took to say that control blurb to think about what to say next. Now, I might have had it ready before you even said no, but I might not have. If I didn't, I just gave myself all that time to formulate a response. And obviously, time is of the essence and is a premium commodity. Having the ability to rattle off a control blurb confidently and sharply, even without thinking about it, gives me time to think about what to say after that control blurb. And many times, that time might just buy you something brilliant to say. Something that changes the prospect's mind and makes all the difference. The difference between a sale and nothing. All right, I promise to keep this short and sweet, and we're running out of time here. Next time out, we'll cover the B's and C's of the Agree, Bullet, Close ABC formula for creating great, effective, objection-busting rebuttals. You'll see that, like the A, the C of the formula has more to it than initially meets the eye. And look, putting all of these lessons into your selling arsenal is going to go a long way towards making you unstoppable at doing what's in your and your client's best interests, getting them to get out of their own way and do exactly what it is that you want them to do. Next episode will be an absolute can't miss. I'm telling you, it's going to tie everything together greatly. I'm really looking forward to it. And with that, let's wrap up this episode with some very quick announcements. If you'd like 3 free issues of the Marketing Made Easy newsletter, which is my monthly business development, marketing, and sales growth newsletter, simply shoot me an email at archer@archeratlas.com with the subject line Marketing Made Easy or just MME if you're in a hurry. I'll get you this month's newsletter over to your inbox immediately, and the next 2 when they come out the next 2 months. I'm also wrapping up the insane $7 promotion of my video training course, Get More Customers and Clients Now. Get it for 93% off. It's only $7 by simply going to www.theatlascast.com/offer. OFFER. I'm taking that offer down by this weekend, the 14th, so act now. It's really a phenomenal program and a complete steal at only $7. Just go to theatlascast.com/offer. Lastly, if you'd like to get updates on this show, the Atlas Cast for Building Your Business, as well as show notes, transcripts, and your 2 free gifts, one being my best-selling book, Build Your Business Without Breaking the Bank, and the other, the audio program, Going Up, How to Generate More and Better Leads Quickly and Inexpensively. Just go to www.theatlascast.com and subscribe. You'll get all of this free of charge, my gift for being a loyal listener to this show. All right, that's it for this episode. Like I said, next time out, we'll continue where we left off, really digging deeply into points B and C of the ABC rebuttal formula for turning no's into yeses. Again, I'm really looking forward to this. I'll see you then.